We all know that four-wheel drive springs come in a whole range of different shapes and sizes, and none are more simple yet more misunderstood than the torsion bar. Today we're going to show you exactly what the torsion bar is, how it works, and how to fit one. A torsion bar is just like any other spring in a four-wheel drive, except for one obvious factor: they're completely straight. To understand what a torsion bar is and how it works, you only need to define the word torsion. Torsion is to twist by applying torque or force. So while a coil will compress under load and then uncoil to rebound, a torsion bar will twist under load and then return to its neutral position. Like any other spring, it's always a great idea to upgrade your torsion bars when you've added some weight to the front of your four-wheel drive, usually in the form of a steel bull bar and winch. Let's take a look at how simple it is to change torsion bars by using this typical D22 Navara. The first step is to take a before measurement on even ground, as this will provide a reference point for setting the ride height of the vehicle after the installation process. Today we're lucky enough to have access to a hoist, just to show you how easy it is to do the job, but a set of sturdy chassis stands will be all you need to do this job at home. With the four-wheel drive safely suspended by the chassis, the next step is to take a marker and carefully mark how far the splines need to be inserted at either end of the torsion bar. Then we can loosen and remove the jam nut on the anchor arm bolt. Now, back off the anchor arm bolt itself, taking note of how many turns it takes to wind the anchor arm bolt to the point where there is no load on it. Write this number down. Once you have no load on the bolt, continue to undo it and remove it completely. Now it's simply a case of sliding your old torsion bar out from the vehicle. Before you can begin to install your new upgraded torsion bars, you'll need to ensure that you're installing them the right way around. Failure to do so will not only be costly, it can be devastatingly dangerous. Take note of the L and R for left and right markings on each bar. The left bar goes to the passenger side of the four-wheel drive and the right goes to the driver's side. Line up your old torsion bar and carefully copy the markings you made on the spline to the new bars. This will ensure that you have enough spline engaged with the receiver. Now, swap your old dust boots onto your new torsion bar and give the splines a generous coating of grease before installing them. With your new torsion bar in place, it's time to repeat the process and do all of your anchor nuts and bolts back up, just until the torsion bar is under tension. Remember that number we wrote down earlier? Now you'll need to count how many turns we put on the anchor bolt again, except this time we're only going to turn it around 2/3 of the way, as this is a higher rate torsion bar. So for example, if you needed 15 turns to undo the bolt initially, only put 10 turns back on it when doing it up, and this will take you back to your vehicle's original ride height. If you've got a Nissan like the one we're working on today, you'll need to tighten the torque arm to the factory specs once the new torsion bar has been installed. However, some other makes, such as Toyota, usually have a keyway or index tooth cut to ensure correct installation, and these should always be lined up accordingly. Their location is usually marked with a paint to make ID easy. Now, lower the four-wheel drive back onto the ground and drive it back and forth a few times in order to get the weight transferring from front to back, as this will help settle the vehicle at its ride height. Check the ride height measurements, and once you're happy, double check that you have around 70mm of droop. Do this by jacking the front end up until a wheel leaves the ground and remeasure the wheel to guard measurement, just like we did earlier. Now it's simply a case of tightening up your old lock nuts and you're ready to hit the bush.